Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the live show. As I come on, it looks like the USA just tied up the hockey game. It looks like they just scored a goal as I was turning the thing on. So I believe it's 1-1 right there. So let's get looking at the stock market, see what's going on, what's going to be popping tomorrow, and then we'll get back to the game because it is 1-1, 3 minutes left in the first period. I'll keep you guys updated. And here we go. Let's rock and roll, everybody. I hope everybody had a great day. We do have some poppers every single day. It doesn't matter what this market's doing. And we also knew what was going down. So Amazon, remember, said that was pulling back. That was a nice pullback today. Let's get through it and see what's happening. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence and hope you had a great day locking in profits here. Like I said, tons of opportunities going on everywhere. So make sure you're grabbing them up as we have some pullbacks here. And I'll tell you what, these things are just dipping and ripping. You have to be extremely patient right now. Even the big caps, everything. So you have to be patient. The penny ones definitely are doing it. So let's get rocking and rolling. I'll cruise through the list. Let me know if I miss anything. You guys want to see anything? We'll cruise through, and then we can go watch the USA Canada hockey game. It is 1-1 with 2 minutes and 30 something seconds left in the first period. Here we go. OCEA, I mean Ocean Biomedical, and this bad boy, I'm telling you, it is just getting set up. Maybe it pops up tomorrow. It did just ride that line today. Nothing crazy. Nothing really anything bad for pullback because it ran up yesterday. And again, it's just kind of sitting there at 14, went up to 15. It came down to 13 something today. Yeah, it's at 13 something. It doesn't look bad at all. It's just getting set up, and these things just aren't blasting off. I mean, yesterday wasn't a bad run for it up to that 16. I think it should have got even higher, to be honest with you, but I guess it wasn't in the cards for it. But I think it's going to be running up higher as it tries to get out of this basement. I guess that's why it didn't run so high because it didn't get out of that basement. So maybe if it had popped out, it would have really got cruising there. And yeah, they're just getting stuck in them. They're like taking so long. It's bizarre, but it is still set up looking good. And good old Holo, everyone loves this one. It was moving in the after hours, and look at that dip situation here. I was looking at it today, and then it just rips up. I mean, it's crazy what they do. Today it went from 114 all the way to 106, and now it's at 151. It got to 152. So that's where it closed at. And again, if you are patient on these things, you can almost know exactly when they're going to rip because they just take a major dip right there and then all of a sudden bounce up. So that's what Holo did exactly today. And almost all of them are doing it. So keep your eye on it because it does look really good right there on the charts with that run up. So keep an eye on it to go up to about that 190 something. And that's where your 50 sitting right up there. So yeah, keep an eye on HOLO, but it did run up in the after hours right there and wasn't looking too bad. And good old BHAT, this one has been setting up, running up a little bit yesterday. A little bit. I mean, it was kind of running up. It just didn't go up as high today for BHAT. And what did it do? It went from what, 7 to 8. It pulled back into the sixes right now. And it is just sitting on that 20. And I think it will try to roll back off the MACD as it's in that channel right there. So we'll keep an eye on BHAT, see if it does want to get set back and rolling. LRHC, this one is down a penny, but I'll tell you what, it is looking pretty good right here. It does look like it actually tried to cross through. And again, remember 1, 2, 3 on the third one. They generally do it. And this is that real estate one, LRHC. Hold on, let me type it in right. LRHC, that's the end of the first period. 1-1, Canada, USA. And LRHC at 24 cents, down to 21, but closed at 23, hitting that line right there. And we'll see if it wants to get through tomorrow. Like I said, it looked like it was trying to cross through. It is just hitting it. It's in a spot where it could pull itself back, but it is out of the basement and pop and bouncing, trying to bounce off that bottom line. And if it doesn't bounce up tomorrow, next week, it'll probably really be looking good. So Keep an eye on LRHC as well. And good old S dot, we've been looking at it, static group right here, and we knew that bottom was in at about 252. You're at 337. It was moving, and it looks like it could move up some more tomorrow. So keep an eye on it. 306 to 332. That's where it's at. The 50s right there, 334. And it looks like it wants to try to run through it and then get cruising. So keep an eye on good old SDOT static group right there, and maybe it'll get popping through that 50 and get cruising. So we'll look at that one tomorrow and see if it wants to do it on a Friday. And this AIM is looking good, guys. I'm telling you, it was up a little bit today. It's just curling up here, and we've been talking about it. We don't like news much, but this one, like I said, something to do with that bird flu and whatever, AstraZeneca or whoever, and bird flu. That's all we know. But it is curling up and setting up there. It does look like it has a couple weeks, like the way they're running, maybe 2 weeks. But it is getting curled up right here and wants to bounce up and probably maybe get up here to like the 16, 17 area. And it's at 14 right now. So keep an eye on this AIM because it could really be getting set up right there. And good old OCGN. I'm telling you guys, keep an eye on this thing. It just went flat, but it looks like it wants to really curl up here. And I have a feeling this chart's going to get changed around. I don't know why. It just had that look, and it's still giving me that look. So it very well could. I'm not promising you, but it does look better and better each day that I look at it to do what I think it's going to do. So keep an eye on that OCGN because it could get moving right there. And SYRS, that Syros Pharmaceuticals, this one's just getting set up too. This one's probably going to be a next weeker. So it what it do today? Let me take a look and tell you what it did. But yesterday it was in the 50 and it did pull back a little bit from 18 to 17. It's at about 17, over 17 and a half right now. And yeah, just kind of jumping around right now. And it might not be ready for tomorrow, but that one has been getting set up, that SYRS, and we have been looking at it. And how about Clue? I'm telling you, this thing's getting there too. It was up like 2-3% today, and then it pulled back in the after hours. But it's about to hit that line, and I think yesterday was at bottom down there at that 9 cents, and today it looked pretty good to try to set up to get moving. And again, you just have to be super patient with these bad boys and try to catch them just at that bottom. So yeah, it's just under 10 cents right there, and I think it's looking really good. We were talking about this for a little while, and them education and training services in China, these small caps, they are still looking good right there. So that is your CLEU and LICN. This one was just like kind of flat, if not down a little bit. It tried to run up this morning, just didn't get it. Maybe tomorrow it will. I don't know what happened with it because it was looking pretty good after yesterday. And then today, 7 to 8, down to 6, closed at 7. And yeah, it's just like right below 7. And it is just kind of flat. And again, these things, it's not even out of the basement. It just like curled up and they just don't get out right away right now. I think it's just because the market, it's just moving too slow. Like I keep telling you, it's just not allowing them to just go like straight through. So you get multiple run-ups on these things, but you can't really hang on to them forever because they bounce around a lot. So you know, we know when they're going to pop up. You got to play that pop, get out of it, and then wait for that next setup, and you can play other ones in between the best ones at that time. So that's like the pretty much the plan right now, especially if you're playing these penny ones, because they're just going all over the place, and you're definitely have to be patient because you're getting them dip and rip situations, and they're dipping down good. I mean, you catch anywhere as near that dip before it pulls up, you're already making like 50%, sometimes 25%. They're just rolling, like they're pulling back really hard and cruising. And like I say, think of a bow and arrow. You just got to pull that bad boy back. The harder you pull it, the further it goes. That's what I look at it like. So DVLT was at WISA Datavolt AI now. And this one I think could be trying to bottom out. We know they changed the name, and I'll look at it tomorrow. But it did have that look today, like it might be trying to bottom and try to curl. It does look better on mine in the after hours too. You can see it went up to 112. What's this at? 110, but again, they don't show you the chart in the after hours on the FinViz. But anyway, it is looking good right here. DVLT, Datavolt, and 104 to 112, and that's where it's at, looking pretty strong. So yesterday could have been that bottom for it. So keep your eye on that one because it is getting set up. And how about that icon? It was up 3 cents today. And I'm telling you, this thing, remember last night we were saying just let it get to that right spot. It was just waiting for that 20. I think you might have it right about here. We'll see what it can do tomorrow. And honestly, if it doesn't do it tomorrow, it might not be the end of the world. It'll be a really nice setup for next week, but you might have it pop up there tomorrow. So you do have to keep an eye on that icon in the morning because it is getting set up right in the right spot. And then NIVF, we were just perfect timing on that thing, and it had that reverse split and ran up. And honestly, it doesn't even look too bad after it's run up right here. And it keeps hitting that 255 to 350 again. Yesterday, it went up to 363. And it's at 233 right now. And again, still doesn't look that bad for that NIVF. So we'll take a look at it. But you had two opportunities right there for 2 days to hit that bad boy. If you didn't sell it the first day, you got lucky today on it. And Nubaru, BURU, we've been looking at this, and I think it might have bottomed out today. So take a look at it because it did run up a little bit. And again, it just kind of pulled back some, not as low as yesterday. It got down to that 17 cent area. Today it got down to 18, and then it popped up to 27, and it is around 20 cents. So it is getting set up now, looking much better. So keep an eye on that BURU Nubaru because that one is trying to get set up now. And good old UPS, we've been looking at. It's been bouncing around some, and it was up $1.60 today, and it's looking much stronger. So I think UPS is trying to run up some. Keep an eye on that for tomorrow. It is looking good on the option side for UPS. So if you do your options and you like them big caps, I think you might have one right there. And let's take a look at that Elf Beauty, good old ELF for those that can't spell elf like myself. No, it's ELF, Elf Beauty right there, household and personal products. They do make makeup and stuff. And it's curling up, guys. It was in the basement. It's still in the basement, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely curling up. It had pulled back down here at that 63.50. We knew that was the bottom. I believe it might have been the day of the earnings on the 6th right there. They had earnings, and it was the 7th. So the day after, it took that nice dip, and yeah, you're getting right to that 20, and it hasn't really tried hard to get through, but it was like making that little, it just wanted to run in the bottom. This one's not really a big bottom one. Some of these big caps don't like to run in the basement very long, so you can just tell like this thing will get out, and it should get right out. So keep your eye on ELF, and that is Elf Beauty. I think it's, yeah, Elf Beauty is exactly what it's called. And I was telling you, I noticed the company when I was Christmas shopping. They sell it at Old Navy. It was sitting right there. I was like, oh man, we were just talking about that company. And I was like, that's pretty wild. LMT, Lockheed Martin, is another one we discovered last night. Luis Rodriguez right there. Thank you very much, because that was a beauty today. How about that one? LMT, he was all over that. 432 up to 436, and that's where it closed. It even came down to 429. I didn't even see it pull back like that, but it must have pulled back at some point. They always run around, you know that. And yeah, that's a beauty. And honestly, that one should try to cross through really soon, probably tomorrow. It's looking really good, guys. So LMT, another one. So you got UPS, Elf, and Lockheed Martin right there. Boom, boom, boom. All three big caps. Great option calls right there. And AAP, that Advanced Auto. Remember, we were watching it pull back, and I believe wasn't their earnings? No, they're next week. I thought they were today. They're next Wednesday, as a matter of fact. But this is getting set up and looks like it could have bottomed out down there at that 43.42. It's back at 44.75 ish right now, and that is AAP, Advanced Auto Parts, and that one's looking good, guys. So keep your eye on that one, because that one looks like it's trying to get set up now. And good old HEPA, I think someone, Scott or somebody, said they had patent news or something. I'm not exactly sure. I looked, I didn't see anything on FinViz, and you know that's how far I look. But yeah, I didn't see anything, but it was looking pretty good. I know we've been watching it. It did curl up on that 20 today and looked much better for HEPA right here. Hepian Pharmaceuticals. I can't say the names of these things, but it is looking pretty damn good. That's one thing I can tell what the chart says, not the name of them. Can't read, but I can read a chart. It's amazing. But anyway, here you go. It was up over to 20 right there, 17 to 20. It closed at 18, but yeah, looking really good. It stays up over that 19 tomorrow, and it probably will. It looks pretty solid going into tomorrow for HEPA. I have a feeling you're going to catch some momentum on that. So watch that one. And yeah, it gets back up over that 20. Your 50's all the way up here at like 38 cents. That's a good little jump up that it can make. And that BZAI, it was down today. And just, I'm telling you, keep an eye on this thing because this thing's trying to do something right there. And I just been watching it to see what it wanted to do. We'll let it pull back right here. It did run up and hit that 20 the other day at 565 area and let it pull back because I think it's going to get set up this BZAI to get cruising. I'll watch it tomorrow and maybe Monday. If it doesn't do it, it's fine. It was up on the scanner and it just caught my eye the other day. Maybe it doesn't want to run, but I'll keep an eye on it for a day or so and we'll see what it wants to do. If it gets set up, I'll let you know, and it could be a popper, but it's not ready yet, so I'll give you as a heads up on that one. And ADGM right here is running up. It was up today, and this 20 is moving up to that 50. And I know we've been checking this thing out, that Adigo, whatever, medical, but it's running up. And yeah, I think you're going to get more run up on it right here, ADGM. So keep an eye on this. And your trend line up there is your resistance at about $2, and you're at about 150 right now. So you still have some room there, and it might not be exactly topped out or ready to pull back yet. I think it might be ready to go up a little bit. So just keep an eye on that one as well, and we'll see that one and see what that's doing. I was just looking, and yeah, this TAO, it's a crypto coin. I don't know what's going on with that thing. I'm gonna repost it right now. And I was looking at that thing. Holy cow! We'll go over that chart when we do crypto. I have no idea what that coin even is. It's a pretty big coin. I think it's in the 400s or something, if I remember correctly. And yeah, it just looks really good for whatever reason. Where the heck was it? I saw it. Wasn't it on Coinbase? Is it not on Coinbase? I don't even know. I just looked at the chart earlier. I'll pull it up on crypto.com. And yeah, TAOUSD 457 right now. And yeah, thing jumped up yesterday and the day before. I was looking at this thing like, all right, it's going to make a little base, but this thing's like ready to roll. It looks like that bottom was way back down here at like 308 and it's up at 457 and it wants to keep going. I have no idea what it is. I'm not familiar with that coin at all, but it is heating up. I'll give you that one, Wit, because that one does look really good right there. And we'll go through that later. But yeah, I just caught my eye when I looked over AEHL. And like I said, I was looking at it like, what? I don't even know this thing, but it seems to be a pretty, I mean, a $400 coin right there. And it just wants to roll. AEHL, that good old antelope, was up today. Remember, we were talking and saying it wanted to run like an antelope. And here we go. It's definitely running like an antelope over here. It was up a little bit, nothing crazy, but it looks good for tomorrow, guys. So keep an eye on it. And your 50's up there at like 17 cents. So definitely keep an eye on that AEHL right there. That could be a runner for you tomorrow. That is still running up. I'll tell you that. Had a little momentum today, and it looks like it wants to keep it right there. So I would keep an eye on that one. And let's take a look at TRUG right here. Good old True Golf. We were looking at it. It did pull back down to that 20 right there. I think that's a healthy pullback of 4 cents right there today. And I think you're going to stay in that channel right there. I know it pulled back under it today, but I think it's going to try to stay in this channel right here between, let me tell you, 46. It is at 44 and 52, but it's going to curl down and probably roll right off that MACD, get set back up. It did hit that resistance up there and did pull back to the 50 yesterday. And then it looked like it was going to have to pull back a little bit more to set back up. But yeah, I think that 20 kind of carries it right back up there and it tries to move. And that is True Golf, TRUG right there. And FAAS, it's F with two A's and an S. Digi Asia one. It was setting up the other day. It's down 3 cents, but I think it was moving in the after hours. Let me take a look at this thing. 59 to 62. It's at 58, so I guess it wasn't moving in the after hours. I knew it was moving. I saw it at like 60 today, so it was up, I guess, a penny. I didn't realize it opened at 59, but it is in that channel, and I think it's just staying in that channel right here and could get set up. It looked pretty good the other day, and yeah, it looks like it's just staying in that channel right there for your FAAS, and then we'll watch it and make sure that 20 gets it set up, and it'll be a good one right there. And let's look at that TSSI now. This one's going to be a decent one. Remember, I said let's let it pull back into the 13s. It could try to bounce. I don't even know. I think it's going to come down a little further. And this is that one I was telling you about. I don't know nothing about no news, but it's the one these guys were talking about. And they have something to do with Dell and Tesla. And that's all I needed to know because the chart is bullish. I just knew it was pulling back. And there you go. It's down $1.22. And I still think it might pull back. So, like I told you, I'll let you know when it bottoms out. And if you want some, grab some shares and hold them for later. I don't go long on very many things, but from the way these guys were talking, they definitely know what they're talking about. These catalysts and the fundamentals. And I'm telling you, the technical aspect of it, this chart, you can see it. It's going to go up. I mean, there's nothing that's not saying that it's not going to just run. So until it turns around, it's going up. So it's going to look good, and we'll get a piece of that one. That's good old TSSI. So yeah, we'll watch that bad boy. And UOKA, this thing was looking pretty good the other day. And yeah, it's right in the right spot, guys. It could be a popper tomorrow to end the week. So keep your eye on this one. I believe Scott was looking at this. It looks really good. It's been running that crazy track off the MACD there, but it's a beauty. I love to look at this one right now because it has been setting up and looking great. UOKA. So yeah, keep an eye on that one. I definitely like that one, possibly for tomorrow. If it isn't, I would definitely be watching it for Monday. And that Me 23 and Me holding, that got into the right spot today too. Remember we were talking about that one, and that one did run up right over to 278 to 298, and then it closed at 287, and it is looking pretty good. So keep your eye on ME. That's 23 and Me, and it does look pretty good right there. So we'll keep an eye on that one, of course, and that good old Stardust Power SDST pulling back just a hair, but I'll tell you what, I think it's going to wait for that 20 right now, and it's perfectly fine. It'll probably just base out right here unless it just wants to bounce up, but I don't see it. I don't see it happening tomorrow. Let's put it that way. And but we'll definitely keep our eye on it because this thing's going to be a good setup. We know it bottomed out down there. Where was that at? I forget. 65 cents. I don't even remember where it was. It's at 78 now, and it bottomed out, let me tell you. Yeah, like 65 cents. That's where it was. And yeah, it's not looking bad. It's still trying to curl up, just taking its time like everything else. So we're keeping our eye on it, and if it is going to get set up like really good. So we will keep an eye on that bad boy, good old Stardust Power. And the game is back on, and obviously the second period, and they're in the 19th. It just started, so it's still 1-1. No one scored. And CYN, that just had a reverse split. And I'll tell you what, this thing, we're going to watch it tomorrow. It very well could have been its bottom today and get curled up tomorrow. And again, it's a Friday, so sometimes these things don't exactly want to cruise on a Friday. But this one, it did do the reverse split action, and it is getting set up here. Maybe it just takes another base day down there tomorrow on CYN. But yeah, get ready for that one to try to curl up off the reverse split. We love them reverse splits afterwards because they do like to run, and that one's getting set up. We looked at the CADL. It was up like over $1 today. Remember we were talking about it running up in the top, and just look at it for a momentum play right there. It was a momentum play for sure, guys. It opened at 1054, and I think yesterday it closed at like 1047. So yeah, it opened up a little higher. It got up to 1368 right there, and then it closed at 1224. So, and honestly, it could still run up tomorrow. So keep an eye on that CADL for another momentum play right there. because that could definitely do it. And edit EDIT, we were looking at this to try to run. It did pull back out of the top, and it is pulling back. So it never got to go through that resistance right there, and it's pulling back. And I was just seeing if it wanted to kind of bounce, but I don't think it does. I think it's going to kind of pull back a little bit more. We'll look at it and see if it wants to have a little bounce there for EDIT. Not showing me anything. And UK, let's look at it because that was trying to move up today. Wasn't up too much, but it was curled up, looking pretty good. And we did like this bad boy. And I'm telling you, check this thing out. It was running what, 113 to 118. That's where it closed. It got through the 20 and the 50 right there. So it is looking really good. And I would keep an eye on the UK right there, U Commune International. Looking good. So keep an eye on that because it looks like it wants to continue its way up. And CERO, let's see what that's up to right now. Oh, yeah, that's looking really good too. Couple people wanted to see it, and I was wondering why. I actually didn't look at it today, and I noticed a few people requested it, and I said I will definitely wait for the show. So I have no idea what it looks like, and it looks good, guys. I'll tell you that. I see why like four people asked me to look at it tonight, and it did move today. 176 to 210. It's at 197 and it's sitting right at that 20 and looking pretty solid right there. So I would definitely keep an eye on CERO. That does look like it's trying to set up, and I see why a couple people asked about it. And CDT, let's look at that bad boy. That's hitting the bottom. We've been looking at, I think you just got your base right there, guys, for that CDT, Conduit Pharmaceuticals. It is crossed through the MACD, curling up a little bit, and today might be your bottom down there at that 113. It's back at 120 and looking much better. So you might have a nice little setup right there as well. So I would keep an eye on that CDT if you like that, because I think it is getting set up. And then I already do Buru. I already did that. I put it on there twice. And COEP, we've been looking at this. It did pull back. Remember, I said it was topped out there. And I think you're coming back down. It could come down into the eights. It came down, I think, into the nines today. So COEP definitely pulling back. But that thing ran up yesterday. It did have that. Remember, I said it has that top out look at 15. And now you came down to 927. It's at 1001. So that's a big dip. And that's just, again, we just look at the charts, just look at what it tells you because it will kind of tell you what it wants to do. Again, it's not going to be 100% right. They haven't been able to get through the resistance very easy. They really have to be cruising to get, they have to get through like that same day. They're generally not. They're generally not doing it if they hit that resistance, doing it the next day. They'll pull back, have to set up, and kind of do it. We kind of know what that looks like. And that RTC here was down 6 cents, and that had already run up there the other day. And now it's pulling back some more. So we will absolutely look for that bottom on this one again because it's still not ready to be bottomed out. Maybe today it did. And again, we caught that little pop up. It told us it wanted to run up. And that's why you have to get in and out of these bad boys so fast because, again, it popped up the other day on Friday, 67 to 89. And now you're back at 50 right now. And it was down at 45 today. So they do run fast, these pennies. So you got to make sure you're trading them. And then they do pull back and set back up. This one's still in the basement, RTC. And this one might be a little basement runner as well for a while. And how about WOK is called WOC, and it's called Work Medical Technology Group. And it is a China one. I was going to say, I was expecting it to be like a China restaurant one, and it's definitely not, but it ran around a lot today. Holy cow, what did this thing do? Walk was nuts. 270. It opened that. It got to $6 and came down to 85 cents, and now it's at $1.26. What did these people do? Holy cow, what did this thing do? I have no idea. Don't say anything down here, but I don't even see any earnings or anything. But yeah, it just took a wicked bounce. I would look at it. I mean, it is right there where it looks like it almost wants to kind of bounce back. I would look at it tomorrow, guys, for a little bounce play and see if it does it. I can't promise you anything, but it's definitely one to take a look at for WOK and Work Medical Technology. Yeah, it could have that little bounce look on it. I mean, that's a hell of a dip, and it's just sitting right on that bottom. Didn't get into the basement, and it's still sitting on the MACD. It very well could. SOUN is that Soundtown AI, and that's just making a base down here. They have earnings coming up, guys, on the 27th at the end of the month, next Thursday. So a week from today. It is just pulling back at the moment. And I would just wait until next week to see what it wants to do. I wouldn't be jumping in it on a Friday before the weekend and then have earnings next week. So we can keep an eye on it, see what it wants to do. And that TMC, that metals company, we've been watching that thing. I forgot about it, but yesterday that thing ran up 225 to 255 and it closed at 237 and today 229 and it's at 222 right now. And honestly, it could try to stay up in the top tomorrow and bounce back up. Let me see what it really did in the after hours right here. It could. Honestly, it really could try to stay up in the top. They've been doing it. A lot of them have, and this is one of them industrial metals and mining companies, so it could try to. We'll look at this in the morning. Let me jot it down for in the morning. I'll take a look at it and see if it wants to try to stay up there for TMC. Because if it does, you guys know it'll be a good little runner right there. And SLRC, that SLR investment. This one's kind of topped out. I'd be careful. They have earnings coming up on the 25th, which is next Tuesday, and it's been run up in the top, and I wouldn't trust this thing. I would actually, I mean, it could run up higher. It does look like it ran. It's looking pretty good in the after hours. I'd have to look at it in the morning and make sure it wants to stay in that top. And again, a lot of them are staying up there and running, and you might get a little run up tomorrow, but be careful with the earnings on the 25th and it being up in that top. Most of the time, when they're up in the top and they come into their earnings like this, they're pulling back. So it's almost a red flag right there. So I would just be careful. Maybe you get some run up tomorrow and that is SLRC. And that chance and that pullback today. Oh man, that one definitely pulled back at 6 cents. And that honestly could be that dip and rip right there because it's still in the basement. It really didn't even pull back hard, it doesn't look like. And it looked like it was like trying to just get into that spot. So keep an eye on this thing, CHSN. And I think it is that dip and rip look. It went, what, 41 to 50 down to 36. It closed at that 50 cents right there, and it's hitting that 20. And I do think it's trying to get set up probably for next week. I don't know if it's going to do it tomorrow, but I think that's that dip and rip. Maybe it tries to base out tomorrow, or we'll see if it tries to pull back any more. But I don't think it's going to really try to pull back much more than that. And then you're going to see it try to pop up. I think it's going to get right in that right spot. That 20, I think, might come down for it pretty quick and get there because it's at what? 52. We'll see. It's at 40 cents and we'll see what it does tomorrow. Maybe it tries to bounce up and meet that 20. I have a feeling it's going to get popping. So we will keep our eye on that CHSN. And that's another one of them small cap China ones. And I'm telling you, them dip and rip situations are just crazy right now. HUT, that one is like a capital market, but has something to do with crypto usually. Earnings in March 3rd. It was trying to crawl through for the first or second time there. I don't think it's ready, to be honest with you. I think you might have a little pullback on Hut, and then we'll see it get ready. And again, I was saying something's going on with that crypto, and it should get rolling. So it will pull all these guys up, but they're not going to run, I don't think, before Bitcoin and everything really gets cruising again. So I'll keep an eye on that, HUT. And we'll look at gold, GOLD, Barrick Gold. It was up a little more today. We were looking at it, and it's trying to get up into that top. Remember, we were saying if it can get up there, it'll run. I don't know. It might have just hit that top right there today at that 1916. It is in the 18s right now. I'll look at it tomorrow and see. It's been just slowly coming up there, and maybe it's just going to try to pull back a little bit to go up a little higher, but I'll look at it tomorrow to make sure. And that cold was actually up $1.54 today, and it is trying to bounce out of the basement, but I don't know so much if it's really trying to get cruising. Could have just been, it does actually look a little bit better. Let me look at Boyle. Let's see what our Boyle's up to. BOIL. And that one was really strong yesterday, getting into the top and just pulled back a little bit and hitting that support line. It was down $7 here, but up two in the after hours is what it says. And I don't know, it could Boyle could bounce right back up. I'll have to look at them in the morning, so I'll take a quick peek at them. And but it does look like Boyle could bounce back up, and Cold would obviously dip down further. Just what it looks like at the moment, but I can't. That's not a definite right there. LGHL, the good old Lion right here, is looking pretty good today, guys. So keep your eye on it. We know it's been basing out right here, trying to get set up. The only thing is going into a Friday. Let's see if it can get actually moving and then hold itself over the weekend. So that's the Lion. We'll see what it can do tomorrow. And we'll look at Cheetah, CTNT. That's up a penny today. Remember, that one was curling up. That is looking pretty good right there. Good old CTNT. That is our Cheetah. CTNT. I can't type. Here we go to Cheetah. And yeah, it's over. It was just a little healthy pullback today. It went from like 206 and then down to 190. That's where it's at, but doesn't look bad right there. Good old Jag X, the Jaguar, that was down today. It had run up. It looked like it wanted to keep going up, and then it pulled right back down to that 20. And someone trapped the Jaguar and shot it down today because it went 103 to 86, and it closed at 89. Again, it is right back into that channel. So we'll see if it was just healthy pullback, a good one, but we'll see if that's all it was, and it wants to get set back up right there. I'll keep you posted on that. And good old Red Cat RCAT, that one was pulled back. And like I said, I wasn't convinced that these computer hardware ones and the quantum ones are definitely ready. I've been watching them. They keep going up and down, but they're not completely set up like they're ready to get rocking and rolling. And that's what we wait for. We're not waiting to hang out and watch it just jump around for days and days and days. We want to at least be like pretty close to the day or two right before it pops. So there you go with that. So I'll keep an eye on them bad boys and let you know what is going on. I don't even know what I just did right there. I just like X'd it out of stuff. Oh, there I go. I just found it. I have no idea what I just did. Here we go. All right, back on track here. All right, and that was our big cats right there. So we started with the Lion. And then we did Cheetah, Jaguar, and Red Cat, R Cat, and CYCU. This thing, holy cow, down another $1.36 right there. Still not ready, guys. So just let it keep on dipping. I wasn't jumping on it yet. Like I say, just let it dip down. That's perfectly fine. 308. It got up to 430, so I guess it ran up at some point. I did not see it do that. And then it came down to 153 and closed at 165. So I would did US just score again, I believe. I just turned around and looked, and it looks like US just scored a goal. So it could be 2-1 right now, it looks like. And I'll take a look and see. But yeah, and CYU way down there, guys. So we will try to find that bottom right there. And yeah, it's 2-1 with 12 minutes left in the second period. So USA scored a second goal. They are in the lead right there. Very nice. And CYU is way down too. And it is red and down like Canada right now. So that's CYCU. And we'll find that bottom because that will be a crazy one with them kind of dips. I mean, this thing was up. Holy cow, it was up at like $68 the other day, on January 31st, but it was running up just in February to 50s and stuff. So this thing was wild. It's a shell company right there, and we will definitely keep an eye on that one. CYCU and LITM. This one has a little bit of pullback today. It is getting set up, but I don't think it's just ready yet. I think that's a next weeker right there. And I know Stock Authority was checking this one out. I was talking to him about it and said I thought it had a little more pullback on it. So we'll find that bottom right there and make sure we know when that's exactly ready. And it is pulling back. So yeah, we'll keep an eye. And this one caught my eye right before I came on. Vimeo took a nice dip today. I guess they had their earnings. It looks like, yeah, they did yesterday. I guess they had their earnings, but it took a huge dip today. And it's still not looking too bad. VMEO. So keep an eye on that one right there. Big old dips yesterday and today. 571 down to 525. It's at 550. But yeah, it was in the sevens the other day. And someone just got a tripping penalty, USA, so Canada's going on a power play. And Vimeo needs a power play because they just dipped pretty hard. So we'll keep an eye on that VMEO and see when it wants to go. And that MGOL, I guess it changed its stock ticker, is what Laptop Travel was saying. I was just curious. I forgot to look. But yeah, it does say February 19th. It did stop right there. And the new stock ticker is going to be HRM. Or what did I say? HRM. What am I, dyslexic? HMR. It's definitely not HRM. It's definitely HMR. And it's like Heidmar Maritime Holdings Corp is what it is. And I guess it opened at what, 875. It got up to 1004, and then it came down to 432 and closed at 595. So, wow. Hope you got out of that MGOL like I was saying, because you didn't want to be involved with it with that name change unless it ran up this morning and was like up when it was up at 1004 and you got out. I have no idea. I was long gone out that bad boy, and I was talking about it last night and just I had no idea they were. I think, oh, well, we talked about it last night and said that, yeah, somebody had asked about it and said, why was it down? And I looked at it and I said, oh, they merged, they're merging with a company or something. I don't know why it's down, but I guess we already caught the news. And yeah, they're changing stock tickers and all kinds of shit. So who the heck knows what's going to be up with that thing? But yeah, we caught that thing for a huge pop there. And what, 12 cents to 126 we had it. So I mean, that was a beauty. So we can keep an eye on HMR, see what it's up to, but it just started, so they're kind of hard to look at because it's a brand new chart now. So that does stink. And that is the old MGOL, and it's now HMR. Let's look at our laptop travel list and our Jolie's jams. We'll run through our SPY, our big caps, see what's going on. We'll hit crypto. I'll see what you guys want to see, and we'll get back to the hockey game. We'll get to see the whole third period here. It is 2-1 USA. Canada's on a power play with about 9 minutes and 45 seconds left, and Canada's pushing and almost just scored a goal. So they are looking good on a power play right here. But let me get back to stocks and we'll get it rocking and rolling here. TWG, Top Wealth Group. Let's see what this one's doing. Ooh, this one's going to be a good one, huh? It ran up the other day from 21 to 31, and now it's just getting ready to try to curl back up. That TWG, remember we were looking at this thing, and it did have some nice pop-ups. Yeah, the other day it went 20. It did run the other day really good, and I think you might even get a better run. So keep an eye on Top Wealth Group, TWG right there. I do like that. That TTOO, I think that one, remember, it did something and it stopped trading on Finviz the other day. It did come up on mine. Oh, it went to the OTC, and remember, it popped up. Someone was looking at it the other day. It went from like 6 to 12, and then it went 11 to 25, and then today 20 to 24. And it still looks good, guys. So I keep an eye on it. I'm not much of an OTC guy, but that one did look good. Remember, I told you that did look good when somebody asked me to look at it the other day. And they were saying it wanted to double. And I said, it does look good. I didn't say it was going to double, but he was on the money. I mean, it more than doubled. So, yeah, that TTOO, T2 Biosciences, Biosystems, it is an OTCer, but it sure did pop up there. I can't say it didn't. QNRX, Coin Pharmaceuticals. This one's looking better to roll up, guys. So keep an eye on QNRX. This one is just getting into the channel at 32. Could get up to that 52 and then try to get cruising a little higher, but we'll see where it wants to go. It does look like it wants to get set up, but it has some time, so anything can happen in between that. But I think it is going to pop up right there off of this little 20, and it has some resistance right there at like 44 or at 33. So not a bad one right there, and that's CYCC. Um, that one we looked at, it was I forget, Cyclosyl Pharmaceuticals. This one looked like it was trying to curl up. It was just sitting there today in between that channel, but I think this one might be a good one for next week. So we'll keep an eye on the CY. It actually did run maybe it gapped up then. did something. It closed at 36. It opened at 37, but it came down to 34. Like I said, it was in that channel, and it does look like it's trying to get set up. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that one. That could get cruising right there next week. BLMZ is Bloom Z, and this one is just getting set up. It was a little bit flat there. That one could have a few days, so that'll be a good one for next week. That TCTM one, the TCTM kids IT education, these China ones, this one looking really good. It's getting to be in that right spot right there, guys. So keep an eye on it. And we're always early, and it looks really good for tomorrow. So keep an eye on TCTM tomorrow, guys. It is, and again, that clue's looking good, and we went through that whole list the other day, and they were looking great. So SBET, SBET, SharpLink Gaming, just pulling back a little bit and nothing real bad. I think it's just getting set up here. So we'll look at this for next week. That'll be a decent one to get set up. PSIG right here. And this one is, oh, that one's going to be a good one. It's curling through again. They're not rolling right away, so this one might be a great one for next week as well. Your 20 and 50 will probably get set up right there Monday, Tuesday, I would guess by looking at it. And ENTO, this one, Entero Therapeutics right here. This one's curling up though, not looking bad. So let's look at it. ENTO. Yeah, that one's curling up, guys. Keep an eye on that one because that one could get cruising up there tomorrow. ENTO not looking bad right there. SST, let's see what that's up to. System 1 Inc. And it's just like kind of pulling back. It's just setting up right here. Nothing too crazy. And I look at it tomorrow. It looks like it's just trying to bounce around a little bit. It went like 70 to 71, down to 65, closed at 70. So it's just bouncing around, but not doing a whole lot. And it will get set up. It's just getting there. So IMG, this one is, it's called CIMG Inc. I don't even know, but let's see what this is up to. And this one's going to be a good one probably next week too, guys. IMG right here. It ran up yesterday, 73 to 91, closed at 72. Today's 70, 73. It's at 69 and just a little pullback and isn't looking bad right there. So we will keep an eye on IMG right there. And there you go. It's your laptop or your laptop travel list. We do our laptop lowdowns in the morning, and these guys are all set up and ready to rock and roll. Our laptop lowdown list is always great in the morning too. So if you don't listen to the pre-market show at 7 a.m., definitely check it out because we rock and roll through the whole market, get set up, know what's going on, see what's jumping, what's down low, and everything in between, and what's going to be popping. So it is a fun show every morning. And here we go. Let's rock and roll through these so we can all go watch the game. AGFY, and I will take a look and see what you guys want to see real quick. AGFY, this one was down a little bit today, but this one's going to be a setup for next week. I don't think it's going to be crossing down anytime soon, to be honest. So I think we're going to be getting set up. It's just a matter of when it's ready, and I'll look at it tomorrow to see if it's getting ready right there. So AGFY, BLNK, Blink Charging, down 3 cents. This thing's been having a hard time trying to get set up here. Every time it gets set up, it wants to run and pull back. So its low was 92. You're at 107. And it's just having a hard time there getting moving. And Sezzle, this thing was running up before. Remember, it's now pulling back here. And it was up in the top, pulling back. So watch it pull back. It'll probably come back right around like 275. It's at 308. And then get set back up. But remember, we knew this thing wanted to run from like 245, and it went up to it went up over $100. I know that. So that was Sezzle, SEZL, and Sterling. This thing's just been dipping down. I saw it today. Could be its bottom today. We'll see. And it did get down to what? It was down to like 127 or 119. And it's at 124 or 122. Let me see. STRL. And that is Sterling Infrastructure. So yeah, I think that could have bottomed out there at that 119. It's at 125 right now. So we'll definitely be looking at that because that could have a really nice bounce. And good old Rivian was down. I think they had earnings, and I Didn't they lose like a $6 billion like government contract or something? I heard or something. That could definitely hurt them. So I think I saw that today. I could be mistaken, but it is pulling back there. We'll see what it wants to do. And that is Rivian, RIVN, and good old Symbotic, SYM, down a little bit. And this one's just pulling back, trying to get set up. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. So a couple pullbacks right there. Nothing too crazy, but there you go with your Jolie's jams, and let's rock and roll. We'll just go right through real quick. I'll hit the spy and some big caps. We'll go through our messages, and I'll look at crypto, and then everybody can enjoy the game. It is 2-1. USA is beating Canada right now, and there's 7 minutes and 20 seconds left, and they're having another face-off in the Canada zone because the goalie just covered the puck. So here we go. Let's get cruising here. SPY, and I'll do some sports commentary too. Why not? SPY. Here we go. I'm telling you, this thing's just sitting there. That chart actually changed around today, towards the end of the day, because I didn't see it like this, and I know I looked at it. So I don't know what happened, but it definitely changed. Let me take a quick peek at this bad boy. Huh. Interesting look there. 611 up to 612. Came down to 607. It did close at 610. I know that. But it does have that pullback look. But it's sitting on a support line now, which wasn't there. That just like came out of nowhere. And yeah, it's kind of interesting. I don't even know what it wants to do. It almost looks like it wants to kind of pull back through to 20, which is at 605. So it could really come back. But it hasn't been wanting to pull back through the MACD. And it usually has been bouncing right off of that. So, and it probably we would right now because it's facing up. So I would imagine that's what it would want to do. It's very interesting. I can't really tell exactly which way it wants to go right now in the morning or tomorrow. We'll look at it in the pre-market and get a much better idea as it opens up because it's not doing anything now anyway. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. It could go either way. It could bounce off of this support line right here, or it could dip down to the 20 right there, like I said, at 605, and then make that support line a little resistance and then try to cruise back up and bounce off of it. So had two scenarios right there that would play out. Obviously, it's going to do one or the other. And yeah, it's just a coin flip for me right now. I can't really tell. I'm going back and forth. If I had to guess, I'm thinking it's coming back to 605 and staying over the MACD and bouncing off of that. So it could come down to 605, stay on the MACD, and then roll off of that next week. We'll look at it in the morning. It just, that's what it looks like to me right now. Just giving you an idea. Apple AAPL, it was up 96 cents and does look much better. It was kind of flat, to be honest, but it did look better as it closed red yesterday and then went up some today. So we'll see. Maybe they'll drag them up. I'm not exactly sure. It just has a weird look. The SPY, that's not the end all be all. Amazon was pulling back. Remember, we knew that. It kind of pulled back a little further than I thought and went down like 375. So it's at 223 right now. And we will watch Amazon to see. And Canada just scored. So it is 2-2. It's in the second period with 6 minutes left. So yeah, I don't even know how that they just scored, but they definitely just took the puck and yeah, oh, that was top shelved it too. That was a beautiful shot, guys. So that's 2-2 in the second period. That was nice. So yeah, they're down. Amazon's down too. So yeah, that game's 2-2. Amazon's down 375, and that's what's going on. But Amazon looks like it's going to pull back a little bit more here. And we were talking about it pulling back today. Let it pull back, and then we'll run it right up. We'll catch that bottom like we've been doing. We've been doing really good catching these bottoms, especially on these bad boys, and running them up, and just being kind of actually a little extra patient right now because they're having these crazy dip and rip situations. So you just got to be extra patient. And I know you like to, it's fun to trade almost every day, but you don't have to force any. So it's sometimes way better just to hold off a day if you're uncertain, and it usually works out better because you're like, whoo, thank God I didn't buy that yesterday. How often do you buy it and it really just pops up the next day, or how often do you buy it and it dips down? So if right now you got to be patient because they're doing a nice dip and rips. And if you miss a popper, we don't miss many, so it's not a big deal. You just catch the next one. Google's setting up, guys, but again, it just has a little bit of time. It's right off that line. Is it going to try to pop up tomorrow? I doubt it. They're not really doing that right now. So I think it gets set up and we can wait. Maybe it even pulls back a little bit tomorrow and we get a way better price. Again, I like it, but I like it better when I know it's completely set up and ready. Meta came down even more and could just come down even further tomorrow. It was stuck on that 20. Remember, we were talking about it, and I'm not so sure it's going to hold itself up. And if it doesn't, Meta could really definitely come down tomorrow some more. So keep an eye on that one for a little short because that one definitely could fall down some. And Microsoft here, MSFT, up $1.36, and it did get up to that 419. I thought it wanted to take a smoke break at 420, but it didn't quite get there, and it got to 419.31 right there. It's at 416.44. It did cross through, and I'll tell you what, it looks pretty good, guys. So I could see Microsoft trying to run. We did like it, and it is up. So we'll see if it can cruise through tomorrow. If it does, it's going to be a good runner. And good old Nvidia was up a little bit today, kind of basing out, almost like Apple was, to be honest with you. And it just wants to see if it wants to go up. I think it does. So I think Nvidia and Apple both kind of want to go up. I guess it's just waiting to see what the SPY wants to do right there and everything else. But we'll look at them tomorrow. And good old Tesla was down, and I'm telling you, it's just got some setup. And remember, I told you it wasn't going to cross through that MACD right there. And there you go. It just went flat. It hit it. I'm not saying it definitely can't, but it wasn't doing it today, and it's not doing it tomorrow. So I don't think it's. I think it's got another turn to cross through like everything's been doing. So we'll keep an eye on our Tesla as well and see when it's ready. And let's cruise through these other ones. And I can't believe that Unity went nutty. We'll get to that. I just went on AMC. It's dipped down a little bit, but that Unity, that letter U, that thing ran up like $6 in the after hours. They had earnings. I did not see that happening, guys. So I have no idea where that came from. They must have just destroyed their earnings absolutely completely, like insanity, because I have no idea how it did that. But oh, they're adding an AI ad platform or something. Yeah, they're doing something big because for it to run up the way it looked and to run up like that, I would look at it tomorrow, honestly, to see if it wants to be a momentum play in the morning, the letter U. But yeah, that was I didn't expect that one. I'm not gonna lie, and I don't see everything, but that one caught me. I said, "Wow, that ran up pretty good. They must have done something crazy." GameStop is looking much better, I must say. It was up $1, and it is looking pretty good right there. So, what did Ryan Cohen boost Alaba stake to 1 billion right there? So wow, that's pretty crazy. And Doge Mania is back. Well, the SEC approved an ETF for Elon Musk's favorite crypto. I didn't even know they were trying, but there you go. And yeah, Doge is looking really good, that crypto coin. So we'll look at that in a moment. And let's keep going right here. And that was GameStop. So that's them bad boys. Oh, Chewy right here. CHWY was down a little bit. Looks like it's pulling back. So yeah, GameStop is looking decent. And that Unity just went nutty out of nowhere. Is off of the earnings. I didn't see that happening, but it did. And so I'm not sure if anyone was even in it, but Netflix did pull back. We didn't know if it was getting into the top right there. Remember, I was saying, look at it, see if it gets into the top, it'll run. If not, it's obviously pulling back, down $18 today. So that's not a bad pullback for Netflix. And AVGO, this one's been struggling, and it is pulling back, and I think it's going to pull back a little bit more right there. And how about that MU? That was actually down a little bit, but doesn't look terrible. So we'll see what it wants to do tomorrow. And TSM did pull back some more. So these semiconductors, they did run up, but they're pulling back, and you know that we'll catch them when they're ready. And SMCI, this one actually may run up again, guys, up in the top. It never came out of the top. It did pull back and tried to make a base. You might get another pop out of it, but just be careful with that SMCI. We saw it way early, so you don't want to be chasing. And AMD did pull back like 52 cents. Does not look terrible though. I'm not gonna lie. It's getting to be in like a really good spot to try to pop up there. So keep an eye on that AMD right there, and we'll see what it wants to do tomorrow. And Qualcomm QCOM did pull back that 152. I was saying I couldn't tell. I didn't know if it wanted to. Remember, we were looking at this saying, it was hitting the MACD, and we weren't so sure it was going to cross up right there. It hit it and pulled back. I'm not saying it can't go up, but they just haven't been doing it. They're following that same pattern almost everything is. So we're just going to follow that pattern too. And Intel, that's trying to curl back up into the top. So just watch and see if it can get back up there tomorrow. And good old PayPal was down again. It's just setting up. And I guess it's not ready to curl right up yet. And again, it tried it once. And remember, I looked at it that second time last night. I said, maybe that isn't going to curl through yet. And it'll take the third time. It looks like it's going to do that. So it did pull back that 73 cents today and almost looks like it's going to do exactly like everything else is. So that is that pattern right there for sure. And good old Snow pulled back too. It's trying to get set up and then it just couldn't do it. So it's pulling back. We'll see because had that nice dip look on it. I'll see if it tries to get curled up tomorrow and it'll get moving again. And that'll be SNOW. But yeah, if you played that pretty fast, you played a couple good pops on them options real quick and they paid out well. But you just had to be fast on it on the pop-ups. Just get out of them and then just realign yourself for the next pop-up. So I'm telling you, they're moving quick. Everything's moving. It's day to day on like whatever the news is for that day. That's the sector that's popping, and other things are dipping down. Dell's making that base. It was down like $1.07. Could be pulling back a little bit there for DELL, but it did run up quite a bit. I'll look at that obviously in the morning. And good old PLTR, this one dipped down under 100 and then ran back up to 105. So I'm not so sure that it's ready to run back up completely, though, guys. Let me look at it. PLTR, I was looking at it today, don't get me wrong. I think it's going to come down a little bit more. I'll look at it tomorrow morning, but I think we might see a little more pullback on PLTR. Be careful with it because it could run back up, but at the moment, it looks like it could just pull back a hair. And Sophie came down as well, so we'll watch for that one. And here is Marriott and Riot. Marriott just up 17 cents. They're trying to get set up right here. And another one already had what? One, two. It's hitting that thing now. And the 26 is its earnings, and it's still getting set up. I'm telling you, on that third cross up is when it's going to rock and roll right here. So maybe it tries to tomorrow. I don't know about that because it just tried to bounce through the other day. Sometimes when they do that and they don't dip down real hard, they can. We'll see if it can run up into the 1630 area and get moving. Look for Mara to try to run up into the 16s, and it might be able to do it. It might get moving tomorrow. And like I said, I think something big's about to happen in the crypto space. And the riot's not looking bad as well. And again, that one was trying to crawl through and it hit that line hard the other day and came down. So I could see that trying to get curled back up there and try to move. And good old MicroStrategy was up 525 and it wasn't looking too bad. And another one, remember we were talking about it trying to curl up and it tried to the other day. It pulled back. It's just getting set up. So yeah, something's going on there and these things are going to get cruising. And obviously we're going to watch them and catch them. CLSK, good old Clean Spark, the same situation right there. They all look the exact same almost. Wow. And I'm not sure that one's going to crawl right up right now and get moving, but the next time. So maybe we have a week or so. I'm not exactly sure, but they are setting up, crypto's setting up, and that's always a good look when they go hand in hand like that. DJT was down some more, coming down to that support line. We'll see if it gets set up right here. And that fun was down. And I'm telling you, it's just, I think that should have ran already. I guess it's going to wait for its 20 now and wait for DJT. But it could have easily ran already, and now it's just going to wait a couple, like next week. That could be a mover right there. PHUN fun. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. And these things have been moving slow. And that Val is down there. I think that basically bottomed out down there, and it moved in the after hours, it looked like. But yeah, I think MTN could be a good bottom right there. and get moving. But we'll keep an eye on it because Val Resorts, I don't know what's going on their mountains this year. I know it's expensive as hell to try to ride, but I don't know why the lift tickets are going up, but their stock price isn't. McDonald's MCD, this one could be trying to roll off that MACD to get rolling back up. We'll take a look at it. Looks like it could be. And Boeing was down, trying to get set up, did pull back there, so let it just pull back and we'll catch that one at a good price. And then we can definitely have Boeing to run up because it will. And space is up 2 cents, but again, actually, it doesn't look too bad right there. Has earnings coming up, but space has just been a disaster. We'll see if it tries to get up here. It'll have to get up over that 460 area just to do anything for SPCE and IBM. I'm telling you, this thing has been just going up and just sitting there in the top. I think it's going to get blasting off, guys, and get really cruising here again. It's been slowly going up every day that we talk about it, and we'll see. Maybe I'll look at it tomorrow and see if it still wants to run. But yeah, it's been going up very slowly each day, and it's just riding up there. I don't know if it's going to have a pullback. It's trying to get into the top. I mean, it's an interesting look right there on IBM. That is for sure. I have no idea what's going on over there, but it is not looking too bad. I'll tell you that. And it's all the way at the top. So Disney, this was down a little more today. It was trying to move yesterday, and another one. I'm telling you, they're going to take like 3 times to cross through. It's doing exactly like everything else. And good old Oxy, that one, remember we were talking about it going up? There you go. It was up over $1.10. And good old ExxonMobil was up $1.70. Remember we were talking about that going up as well. And there you go. And that one might actually cruise up some more. So that was a good one right there. And Nike was up 45 cents. It looks like it's curling up, looking pretty good. And DXYZ, this one is down a little bit and looks like it could be pulling back. Let me go ahead and look at crypto. The second period just ended. It is 2-2. So we'll knock this out in the second intermission, and we can enjoy the whole third period of USA Canada hockey game, and we'll see how that ends. So here we go. Let's go ahead and look at crypto, and then let me know if you guys want to see anything, and I'll obviously go through anything you guys want to take a look at. And let's see what crypto is at. But Bitcoin popped back up to 98,000. Ethereum's at 2,738. Ripple's at 266. And let's see where Sol, it's at 173 right there. And Doge is at 25. And it says that Cardano's at 80 cents right there. And Chainlink's 1807. So there you go. You know which one was moving today? That SUI, that was moving up. And Litecoin's been a good one lately. That's up to like $1.36 or dollar 136, I mean. So yeah, that one's been looking good. And yeah, that TAO one, I'm telling you, that one just looks crazy to me. TAO USD is just like absolutely crazy to me. And I thought they would be on, you know what? It's got to be a I wonder what platform it runs because that's why it's not on Coinbase because it's clearly running one of the platforms is crypto probably. That's what it is. I'm guessing. Like I said, I'm not really familiar with it, but thing looks pretty wild. I was looking at it. Maybe a little bit of pullback right here coming into the 420s. It's at 460, but this thing's going to keep running up. So that's a good crypto coin to look at if you like big ones right there. And that one does look good to go up. So let's get looking and see what the other charts look like right there and see what's going on. Bitcoin 98,198, almost 98,000 too. And again, it's just crawling up, guys. It's about to hit that 50 right there. We'll see if it gets through. Maybe it doesn't exactly get through yet and tries to get set up this weekend. We'll look at it in the morning, obviously, but it's looking pretty good. Ethereum's at 2,741, and that one is getting set up, guys, to run through that and that's what over there, that is your holy cow. That's your VWAP. Remember we were looking at that thing? That's not even like your 200 or anything. Your 50's coming down for your 200. I'm telling you, Ethereum's getting crazy looking, guys. So
I don't know what's going on there. Solana's at 173 and still doesn't look great. It tried to cross through the other day. It's probably going to make like that three little cross through, try to pull back a little bit and stair step its way up. But when it gets moving, it's going to get moving. So keep an eye on Solana because it will be good. Cardano's back to 80 cents right now, and that one was looking good. It was crossed up and looked good. And yeah, Cardano's looking pretty decent right there. ADA. And let's take a look. That Doge was at 25. It was looking good this morning or earlier anyway. Not even this morning, but earlier. And yeah, it's still looking pretty decent. A little bit of pullback right there, but it doesn't look bad to me. So Doge isn't looking terrible. They should pay everybody in the for the government that 5 grand that Doge wants to pay out. They should just pay it out to everybody in Dogecoin. That thing will fly through the roof, and everybody that has it will be loaded. So that would be great. And let's look at Bonk right here, BONK. We haven't looked at it in a little while. It has been down like everything else, obviously. And let me try to pull up the chart here and see what it's doing. Yeah, it did take a nice dip, and it is trying to base out. And actually, Bonk is looking much better right here. It's way down at the 30, and Bonk could get moving again. So we'll keep an eye on that one. And if you want, I'll tell you what ETF 500 is looking like. Let me just find it real quick right here. And it is just a nighttime pullback. It's at 0.008683. It was at like right under a penny. And you guys saw I posted it. I'm telling you, I've been buying it. I own quite a bit. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it's going to be a winter in a couple months when the summer comes around. People are gonna be like, "Damn, I should have bought more of that shit while it was under a penny," because it couldn't get cruising. And I think exactly what we were saying last week panned out exactly. And I'm telling you, people are gonna realize the thing will move. So it will. I mean, it has the community. Like I said, I don't have to explain it to you every day. I've already said it, and I believe in it. I bought it, a bunch of it, and I've been buying it while it's down. What the hell? That's my philosophy when everybody else panics. I love to buy stuff. I don't panic at all. I love it. And so I take everything on sale and I know where it's going. So I'm pretty confident with it and I'll be happy when it's moving. I know that. And I hope everybody else is doing accordingly to what their plans are right there with that. And that is crypto right there and looking not bad. Like I said, something's going on. I just don't know what the heck it is and when it's going to happen. Let me see what you guys want to see real quick. And then we'll get to the third period of the hockey game. Let me see what's going on right here. Do CDT. Did you hear that? I did it, Barb. I'm not sure if you heard it or not. Let me look. 21 minutes ago. No, I definitely did it before. And that one looks like it is basing out. That looks like it could be a mover tomorrow, CDT. So yeah, keep an eye on that one. I believe you have it, and it does look like it's looking much better for you for tomorrow. And what was the other one that did pull back and we looked at already? I totally went blank. What the heck is it? It'll come to me. What the heck one is that we looked at and it pulled back today and I said it was probably that dip and rip, whichever one it is. I'll think of it in a minute. But yeah, we did that one. I'll see what it is. Let me just take a look and see what else is going on here. Boom, boom, icon. That one was looking pretty good. The TAO we just looked at. Oh, TRNR. What did that do? Oh, CHSN. There you go. That's what it was. Thanks. Just saw it right there for me, Barb. CHSN, I think that could have been its dip and rip, is what it looks like today, to be honest with you. We'll look at that tomorrow. What did TRNR do? Because I didn't even notice it, to be honest. Oh, it came down 18 cents, huh? Pull back after that run up yesterday. Wow, that's crazy. I wasn't expecting that either. Honestly, and now that it's doing that, it almost is going to follow that like three tap up on the MACDs, probably make a base down here and then really get rolling. Should have got rolling off of that yesterday, but I don't know. These things are just moving weird. But yeah, it did once already back here on February 10th, and then yesterday would be a second time, and now that third time is probably when it's going to roll through, Barb. So TRNR, I would have to say, but that was a nice dip right there down to $1. So yeah, it's crazy. I'm telling you, these dip and rips are insane. On You can almost just play it as everything as a dip and rip right now, not worry if you miss it, because if it pops up like Unity, you weren't gonna see it anyway. Like I wasn't that didn't look like it was popping like that, and most of them are taking this big dip way before they rip up there. So you can just kind of be real patient with them and let these bad boys dip, because I didn't think it was gonna pull back like that either, but it didn't get through that MACD like everything on the second time, first time, and here it comes pulling back a little bit to get set up so it can roll through and run. So that's what it looks like right there, unfortunately for that one. And we're just gonna have to wait for that guy to set back up now. So that's TRNR, and I did like that one as well. I thought that one wanted to roll, and I guess I had other plans, but it will. It just came down a little bit, and they are dipping for sure. So there you go with that one. And yeah, that CYCU, we looked at that bad boy. That thing's crazy right there. That's like, you want to talk about dipping. That thing came down $1.30, another 45% today. And it looks like it's coming down some more. So we're definitely watching that bad boy for sure. And Laptop Travel, have safe travels. I just noticed that you were off to Asia for the weekend, so he's going to see what the Chinese markets are up to. You enjoy your safe travels and your flight, and have fun over there. I'm telling you, Laptop Travel, he's flying over there all the time. It's crazy. Um, so there you go with that. And let's see, Doge Mom is from Canada, and but have been living in the USA for a long time now. Who should you? Oh, I don't know. That's a tough one. I guess if you're living over here now, you got to root for the U.S., I guess, and if you were still living over there, you'd have to root for Canada. So I guess you're rooting for the USA. It's 2-2 going into that third period, so we're definitely going to watch it. I'm just going through and seeing MMAT. I meant to write it down and see what it was up to. Let me see. It didn't even come up right there. I'm not sure what it comes up to. It didn't even come up, so I have no idea. What did they like fold up shop? Yeah, metamaterials. It went MMATQ. Holy cow, this thing went to like zero. So I guess they did screw a lot. A lot of people, folks got burned on that one. Yeah, I think they just went to like zero. That thing used to be like a pretty big one. I used to trade that one, MMA. And it was MMAT. It was metamaterials. Yeah, we've traded it before. We used to look at it, and that one got torched, I think. Let me see real quick. I'm not even sure what that even said. Boom. And there you go. Oh, I was gonna say the dude Brian. Thanks. I'm glad I remember. I looked at that. Yeah. So ready. I wanted to explain this real quick because Brian left a message. He said I was talking about the meme coins, and he said, yeah, like the Tiger Fart coin. He posted a picture that they staked all them coins, so they didn't sell any of them. I'm telling you what goes on, guys, and this is look at that one because and you guys can look back at the post. I sent it out to Jogs. I said, don't get involved in these coins and put your name on it, dude. You know, I'm telling you, it's not what you think it is. I'll tell you exactly what goes on, and I've explained it, but real quick. But that, for example, and now you got Joe Exotic, big guy, had a big, I mean, it ran way up because it's what they do immediately. People get involved in these things in a day. He doesn't have that community where he's there like 24/7 posting about this thing. It runs way up, right? People are getting profits. He's not selling any. He probably has like 300 million coins or something. I forget what the hell he even had. They posted the picture that they staked it. And so yeah, if you stake it, it takes usually 10 days to or a week or something to unstake it. I don't know what their rules are, but whatever. If you stake it, it's going to take a little longer. So whatever. So yeah, this thing runs way up. People are selling it, making profits that night when it comes out, and then it just keeps pulling back. I'm telling you guys, these people have bots set up inside these things and are just sucking these coins up, your coins and everything, like a vacuum. So as soon as this thing doesn't have the volume that it had, these things just go and suck them up. So if they're not moving, I watched two coins do it. I made them, and then as soon as you don't trade them or do anything with them, you literally watch these bots. They sell stuff for, I don't get it. It's selling for losses. There's an algorithm figured out where it's all inside, and like I said, it's all these different entities set up inside that deck screener, and yeah, they're just sucking them up like a vacuum. So, and if you look like the ETF, most of the coins are that the supply's bought up. So that's why that thing is holding where it's at and it can continue. These bots can't get in there and manipulate it like they can with all these new ones or anything else. That supply is almost locked up practically, and there's a ton of people. I mean, you got it's a million, it's what, almost $9 million. So 9 million market cap. You're not talking in the hundreds of thousands. So yeah, and it's been there for a long time. So I'm telling you, it's a solid one, and that's what you have to understand about these things and why they work and why they don't. And that's what I've been trying to explain to people. I did the experiments, you guys know, and I tell you, it's exactly what goes on. You know, I don't sugarcoat anything, and I'm not there to BS or tell you that this thing's going to do well because I don't believe in it. I would never do something like that if I don't believe in something. I'm not talking about it. Trust me. And I'm telling you the reasons why I do believe in it and see why it would work. And yeah, that you see the tiger fart thing. Huge following for Joe Exotic. Thing flew up, and I told him not to do it because of exactly this reason. So I'm not sure if Brian is listening, but that is exactly what happened with that tiger fart. And I guarantee Joe Exotic sitting in prison going, what the fuck just happened to this thing? I'm holding like 300 million coins right now, and it just went to like nothing. And that's what happened. I'm telling you, these bots are just eating them alive. And it's different because he staked it. It's way different. And you can tell because you could still go on there and actually sell it and trade it. The ones that get the rug pulled, you can't go on and trade it and sell it. It'll tell you that like there's not enough coins or not enough this. You can tell when the people already pull the rugs and what's up with them. So I'm telling you what goes on. I know exactly, like almost not exactly every coin. I know what these bigger coins that are coming out, and they're not even bigger coins, they're just the coin of the day. And I'm telling you, you know immediately just by looking at it exactly what it's going to do. And they're all set up the same because they're all set up by the same team. And you have to understand that. So that's why, again, the ETF 500 is not part of all that. And it's the supply's almost bought up. So when Sol starts moving back up in crypto and people actually realize like that thing, we want to get in it because now the supply's almost eaten up and now it's going to be worth more, you'll see it really start to move. So just wanted to give you an insight of how they really work and why they actually work. They're all useless, trust me. They're meaningless coins that have no value. The value is the community that can lock up the whole supply and make it go up. That's what it's about. And no one else can do these supplies. Not Portnoy. He's not worrying about the supply. He's worrying about pulling the rug and making money and just being a degenerate. So you gotta understand what's going on here. And that's a scam. And so yeah, it's exactly what's going on. So Brian, I don't know if you're listening, but I don't think that Joe Exotic pulled the rug, and I can almost promise you, he posted the picture where they staked the coins, and I can tell by looking at it which ones do get rugged and which ones don't. And you can go on and trade that. It was not rugged. They still hold the whole supply there. So just letting you know the difference. I know like I said, I can definitely go on and tell the difference easily just by looking at them and just knowing the coins now and just seeing how they work by setting up the two. And I'm glad I did the little experiment. It only cost a couple $100 to really set them up because if I sell the coins, whoever owns them will get rugged. You won't even be able to move them. So it'll kind of screw some people. I don't know if any of our listeners or anybody holds like the Cupid one or whatever. We can still run up the rigged one and make it work and have have fun with it. But again, these bots get in unless you can get that supply way up. These bots just work their way in and they'll just take your they'll take your coins. I'm telling you. So your best bet, and you see why I'm buying ETF 500, why it's under a penny, because the supply will get locked up and then these bots can't get in there. They're not getting into this. They're fine. They got the algorithm written where these brand new ones are getting eaten up. It's funny. I talked to a buddy of mine that lives over in Philly in the city, and this dude's been doing crypto longer than anybody I know. He had Bitcoin. I'm not even lying. He owns Bitcoin when it was at like $3. I'm not even kidding you guys. This dude has money and has been in crypto forever, and I mean forever. And I was talking to him. He's one of my best buds, and so yeah, we grew up together and we still always talk. We were talking today about, and I started mentioning the meme coins, and he went right off about the bots, how they did. And I was like, "Holy shit, you're listening to my show?" And he goes, "No, what you say?" And I said that, and he goes, "Yeah, dude." He's like, "You're," and he knows what he's talking about. I was like, "I'm surprised. Like, you definitely are onto it." He goes, "Dude, it's crazy." He's like, and he set up two coins. He told me he set up two coins because he was curious, and he was like, "What the hell is going on?" And he said he even put like 5 Sol into one just to see. And he's like, dude, it just like all of a sudden these bots just, and that's what they do. If you watch, there'll be a bunch of a penny, a penny, a penny, a penny. That's these bots programmed all together to make it trick the volume. And then it makes it run the price up because it's tricking the volume. And again, they're just sucking coins out. It's a algorithm figured out that's working for them. And every day they're just murdering it. I'm telling you, it's crazy. So be smart with them things because they're not really set up for retailers. And that's why I'm telling you, in a couple of months, because people they love these things. It's crazy. And the money's not going to pour out. It'll pour into the right ones that can actually be valuable and make you money. So just listen to what I'm saying. And you guys know I'm always a couple months early and I kind of understand the space a little bit. So just that's why things are working the way they are. And again, I'm still buying. You see, and I bought a Sol where I bought more than that today. So I'm getting up there. I'm definitely gonna have a lot of. If it hits $1, trust me, I'm chilling. I promise you. And I have a feeling he's gonna run it up. Dude, he posts not like who else posts 24/7 like that? That's what you have to do. Honestly, I've realized, and that's why you would see me post about the rigged and the this. Every time you post, it seems like it'll go up a little bit. It's just the craziest thing. You literally have to post all day, or if not, these bots get in and just chew it alive. And you're like, what the hell is going on? But anyway, that's what's happening there. If Brian was listening and anybody else that cared. So yeah, I really don't think that Joe Exotic and whoever the chick, I don't know who the chick he was working with was, but yeah, they did he posted the picture where it was staked just the other day. So it would have been, I don't think they could have unstaked it that fast to even pull the rug. And I know I looked at it today and it wasn't rugged. I can tell that it was bots just eating them up. And again, you leave your coins in these ones that are new and these bots will come up and suck them up like a vacuum cleaner. You're like, what the hell just happened? This thing just went way down. And I have no idea how it works, but I do have an idea, but I don't understand the algorithm they're running. It just baffles me. So anyway, that's that. I think we did everything. The game's back on 2-2 in the third period here. And the U.S. just had a good shot on goal, but it is still 2-2. Shots are 20-19 U.S. to Canada. So there you go with that. 17 minutes left. So go enjoy the hockey game. USA, Canada right there. And yeah, we'll definitely do pre-market at 7 a.m. You guys know that. We'll find out what's going to be popping for our Friday. So we'll do our Joey's jumpers, our laptop lowdowns, our crypto, see how that looks, and everything else, and whatever else you guys want to see. And let me take a look. FBGL, I did see these two. Jonathan asked, let me look at two more. FBGL, because he did post them in earlier. That's that new one that's looking just basing out right there. I'll look at that tomorrow because it hasn't been running. I doubt it'll run tomorrow. And that DGLY did pull back and it's still in the basement in a good spot still. and we'll definitely look at it tomorrow because, like I said, still in a good spot and trying to curl through. And it's another one. I'm telling you, it tried to curl through one, two, and this could be the time that it gets through because it is on the third one, and it did make a nice base and looks like it bottomed out. So yeah, I would definitely keep an eye on that DGLY as well because it's looking pretty good right there. So yeah, I would say that's that. And boom, I would say Delta. Where I didn't even see any of these. How did I miss? I missed that one. I don't know how I missed that one. Let me look at Delta. B wanted to see Delta right here. I believe that's what it is. DAL, right? Yeah, Delta. That one's going to set up just a little more pullback right here. Remember the airlines were running the other day for whatever reason. They look like they're pulling back right now, B. So we'll keep an eye on that and see how far it wants to pull back some of these airlines, and we can go through them tomorrow. But there you go, everybody, and thank you for hanging out on a Thursday night during the hockey game. And it's still 2-2, 15 minutes left. So thank you, everybody. And MLGO, yeah, we went through. Is that no? That was the other one. MLGO is microalgo. What's that look like here? Oh wow, that ran up in the after hours. It looks like, huh? MLGO. That's one that we were looking at before. We haven't looked at it in a few days, but wow, that did run up right there, 124 to 330, huh? That was a good one. Yeah, I would say that was a good one, Luis Rodriguez, and I would look at that in the morning, see if it wants to run up some more right there. So, yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. And let's see, anything going on? Nope, still 2-2 and just under 15 minutes left. So there you go, everybody. Enjoy the hockey game. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Doge Mama, Prophet Logic, Jay Kratz, Luis Rodriguez, and don't follow the White Shoot and Barbara and Hulk Investments right there. GK, Bong Pri Chan, Harry with an I, and Sanai, QM, Buddy, Lynn, and Not Your Father. It always cracks me up when I read that. And there you go, everybody. So thank you for tuning in as always. And you guys always know all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. Always do your due diligence. Let me know what you guys want to see in the morning. And we will be on at 7 a.m. for our Friday show. And we'll rock and roll the end of the week and see what's going to be popping there. So I'll go through the scanners in the morning and all that good stuff, and we'll check it out. So go ahead and enjoy the game. It's a tied game, so third period, it should be an exciting one, and I'm sure I'll be tweeting about it. So have a good night, everybody, and I'll catch you guys in the morning. Enjoy the hockey game.